Hi, I'm Joe Hart and I'm here at the second of the key debates run by Surge Radio, who are just setting up for this debate today, which is about the police commissioner elections going on in Hampshire at the moment. We have all the candidates here today and they're going to be debating the various issues that are coming up in this election. So let's have a look.
Good afternoon again, everyone. Welcome to the much awaited second edition of the key debate. With the election of the police and crime commissioners across the country fast approaching, today we're going to focus on issues, surprisingly, of crime and policing in the local area and nationally. We're particularly delighted to welcome 5 of the 6 candidates for the post in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight to our student union today for this debate.
Since students are such a large demographic in Hampshire, what do you think is the most important issue for them?
I think, first of all, that as we discussed in the debate, when I met students here last week, it was their own personal safety, it was the fear of drug and alcohol related crime, and it was the feeling of being part of a community, which is clearly very relevant here.
The biggest issue in the election is getting them out to vote and the importance of voting, and I think you heard a bit about that from the panellists. And I think the second part is we need to, and if I focus it in on Southampton, we need to make sure that we are addressing the safety issues. I'm a mother with 3, they're not so young anymore, they're in their 20s and 30s, but who go into town on a Saturday night, who like a few drinks. I want to know that they're getting home safely. I want to know that the young people in this city can get around the city safely. The PCC, the police can't do that on their own. It's got to be about partnership working, but actually the PCC can be a conduit to make people deal with it. And I think there's a lot of tokenism about young people, and we need to really engage with them and get from them what the issues are so that we can invest our money wisely in making things better for them.
I think the students that are being affected by crime and trying to get a handle on that, I don't think at the moment the police have a good enough liaison with the students to work out what crimes they're being affected by and coming up with a cohesive plan of how to tackle it, which is one thing that I'm keen to get, is to get students involved in the process of writing the plan so that it makes sense for them as well.
Our system in England has a balancing system. The judges, the Parliament and the police in the case of crime. It's similarly in enforcement agencies. You do not allow political control of what is meant to be an independent investigative enforcement agency. That is fundamental to freedom. And I can't emphasise that enough, how important this is for people to understand this. This is precisely what happened before the Second World War. It's what happened with Hitler. He took control by elections which had a very low attendance rate.
The Conservatives are like Hitler?
I'm saying that they suffer from the same problem of wanting to have control of the system and of the forces that can apply what happens to the people. In other words, who is investigated for what? That is something that should not be a political decision. It should be an independent decision.
I think getting rid of crime. I don't think students are different from anybody else. They want to live safely. They want to be able to go out and enjoy their evenings safely. They don't want to be bothered by antisocial behaviour, and they want to be able to get home safely. Now that's the same with the citizens wherever they are, cities, towns or country. And the police have got a very difficult job, because in cities, particularly with a young population, it is not easy. And of course it is the young who get offended against more than who do the offending. So there's a particular way in which we've got to try and persuade the police to get onto the side of the young, and vice versa, persuade the young that they can trust their police. It's that relationship which perhaps isn't as close as it might be.
That was the second key debate, all about the police commissioner elections. And if you want to vote, you have to make sure you're registered in Hampshire so you can get out on polling day, which is the 15th of November, so you can vote for your choice for the police commissioner. I'm Joe Hart, and this is Current at Surge's Key Debate.